So this is really the first time I've actually encountered a biography involving Douglas MacArthur. This is a biography, not an autobiography. And what I've noticed in the biographies of some of the other people, including people that served in the Pacific Theater, is that MacArthur gets mixed reviews. Let's put it that way. But my first effort to look in this book, what do I say? Let's see. It talks about MacArthur and Secretary of War McCloy talking about Patton and his alleged pro-Nazi remarks. I can't remember having encountered that, but this is talking about toward the end of the war. I'm going to read this paragraph because this is important. Quote, neither McCloy's visit nor the administration's rebuke had much impact on the Supreme Commander's efforts to recast the occupation's reform program more to his liking. For example, MacArthur resisted pressure to begin a reparations and anti-monopoly program, both of which were called for in the initial surrender plans. Uneasy with such radical ideas, he preferred making a compromise deal with Japanese leaders. Immediately after the surrender, Japanese political and business officials urged that SCAP soften proposed economic reforms. In October, the Zaibatsu representatives met with Colonel Ray C. Kramer, then SCAP economics chief, to discuss a plan devised by the Yasuda family and later endorsed by the Mitsui, Mitsubishi, and Sumitomo clans as well. It called for a voluntary dissolution of holding companies and a resignation of family members from major combined subsidiaries. Family shares in the holding companies would be sold by a public commission with the proceeds placed in 10-year government bonds. So, this is saying that the original plan in 1948 was to dissolve holding companies for the Japanese, including those that were presided over by the large families, including the Mitsubishi family, or clan as they identify it, and put them in 10-year government bonds. Which government? The American government? So did the American government sell off Japanese assets and put them in U.S. government bonds for 10 years? Is that what ended up happening when Chase began seizing accounts through Japanese banks that were held by foreign interests that were not Japanese or American? Like, for instance, what was printed in the 1954 Federal Register regarding those accounts associated with those individuals in Honduras that were seized by Chase Bank. So if they were seized while they were connected to or through American banking institutions, does that mean they were bonded and or considered in accordance with government bonds that were issued as part of what was applied as part of the surrender program in Japan? So what happens when those bonds matured, right?